Yeah, I'm getting ready to go live.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of the Science of Farming show. We are so happy that you are able to join us today. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. I am Sister Rashida Muhammad.
I'm Sister Melody Muhammad.
The beautiful Sister Melody Muhammad in the
Oh,
beautiful
respectful sis.
outdoors. Praise be to Allah. We have a beautiful jam-packed show today. As usual, we encourage you to take notes, get your pen, your pencil, also have your phone ready to take snapshots because we do have some information to share with you via some slides that we prepared for you. So we're going to jump right into the show. As you know, today we're going to be talking about cool weather crops. Now, this show is a continuation of our previous show where we touched a little bit on cool weather crop, but we did not have an opportunity to finish the entire program. So we're going to go ahead and talk about cool weather crops continued. So our first crop that we're going to talk about that you should start preparing to plant for would be cauliflower. And it's so awesome. Cauliflower is so very, very tasty. You can grill it, you can steam it. I don't know if you all have ever had cauliflower rice, but it's pretty awesome. And cauliflower mashed potatoes. Now, with your cauliflower rice, you cook it just like you cook cauliflower, but you're gonna shred it out. So it comes it's like in very small rice format. And with the mashed potatoes, you're going to cook it a little bit longer than you normally cook your cauliflower. And you're going to mash it up and you add some butter and some seasoning. And it's on and popping. Forget potatoes. Forget mashed potatoes. You'll be stuck on the cauliflower mashed. So,
Hey, Sister
yes, ma'am.
I was going to say, did you ever have the buffalo cauliflower wings? So
I
they
have
make
not.
buffalo cauliflower. Oh, you got to come to Philly.
Yes, ma'am. I have not had the buffalo cauliflower wings, but I heard that buffalo cauliflower, but I did hear that it's very, very good. Some of the health benefits would be the high vitamin C and K, as you see on your screen. Produces collagen, the red blood cells. It's really good for helping with the red blood cell production and serotonin, and promotes very good bone health. It is a very good source of folate as well. The beautiful thing about it is it's fat-free and very low sodium. So eat up, of course, 1 meal a day. It lowered the risk of digestive issues. You know, the food lately on the market, when we eat it, it's very bloating. It bloats us up, and it even aids in constipation. But when you eat cauliflower, it does reduce the bloating and it does aid in constipation. Now,
Yes,
with cauliflower, when you plant cauliflower grows really kind of wide. So you want to make sure that you plant your cauliflower about 18 to 24 inches apart. You want to keep the soil moist. And as far as maturity, cauliflower, you can get depending on the variety you can get an early variety. That's about 45 days to harvest. And then you can get another variety that takes up to 80 days. So it just depends on the variety that you get. But either way, it's very good. Our
Yes,
next
ma'am.
cool weather crop we're going to talk about would be broccoli. Yum, yum, yum. Sister
Yes.
Melody, you want to go ahead?
Yes, ma'am. Just to add a note to that cauliflower too, they might see it in an orange color or purple sometime. So I work
That's
at
true.
farmers markets that they have them in different colors. So
That
just
is
beware.
very true. Very true.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am. So when it comes to this broccoli, of course, we could stir fry it. We could put it in soups. We could put it in salads. I just had some. I was just getting some out of my teeth flossing. So it's good for a good source of vitamin A, good source of skin and bone and eye health. Vitamin C keeps teeth and gums healthy. High in fiber, aids in digestion. Children love it, adults love it, and it's so easy and quick to cook. So, in terms of when it comes to growing broccoli, I just want you to be aware of that harlequin bug, and that harlequin bug loves broccoli and a few other things too, but we'll talk about that later. But what you want to do is you want to get a thin row crop, not the woody ones. They have a hard time
Sister Melody,
you
you're
want the
freezing up.
I am.
Okay, go ahead now. Yes, now you can talk about that netting.
Okay, so the netting is again a thin wire, and you will put it along the cauliflower row, and then you will cover it with a thin cloth, and then you will put like clothespins at the top to hold it. And as you water it and stuff, just keep an eye on it for those harlequin bugs. So we go on to the next one, Sister Rashida.
Yes, ma'am. Now you had mentioned we talked a little bit about this before, and you mentioned neem oil is good too, and I know that's good for a lot of our plants.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So yeah, in addition to the netting, to prevent that bug, because that bug will spread and mess your whole crop up. But any of you out there that like growing broccoli, please, 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 find your niche. So we come to you and purchase some broccoli from you, whether you're on the East Coast. Hopefully, you'll be in different areas.
Right. And Sister Melody is saying, check for that bug. You got to check daily. I mean, you have to be very
Yeah,
vigilant with this bug because he wants to be fed and we want to be fed. So it's a duel. We're
that's
battling.
right.
Our next crop is cabbage. Now, this is one of my favorite vegetables. I love cabbage. I love cabbage steaks. You can roast cabbage, of course, make the steaks. You can stir fry. You can steam cabbage, and you can also have cabbage soup. So it's pretty versatile. Now, when I make my cabbage steaks, I just cut them from the very top of the cabbage, split it in half, and cut then two additional halves. And then it's about an inch and a half thick. And I salt, pepper, and put a little bit of dabo and olive oil on my cabbage steaks, and I stick them in the oven until they're brown. And you can flip it over one time. And I like my edges a little bit crispy, but I'm telling you, if you have not had roasted cabbage steaks, you are truly, truly missing out. And not only do they taste good, but some of the health benefits would be they're very high in fiber, which help regulate the bowels and helps with digestion. Good source of potassium, heart health, a great source of vitamin C, which aids in immune health. And as I'm reading all of these health benefits, I'm so, so glad that we have our books, How to Eat to Live, by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, whom he said God in person gave him that information on how to maintain the health of our bodies and the foods that we should eat and the foods that we should stay from. Because when you look at the high fiber and the regulation of the bowels and the digestion, we only have one stomach. We want it to last a very long time. And the most honorable told us once that stomach's gone, that's it. That's your health. So anything you
Yeah,
want to add to the cabbage, Sister
yeah, I
Melody?
wanted to mention the coleslaw, and I guess is it what's that stuff people used to put on their franks in New York? Sauerkraut, is
Oh,
that cabbage too?
oh yeah, sauerkraut. Yeah, I did hear about the
But
sauerkraut in
coleslaw
New
is
York.
really, really good. So yeah, I remember back then in New York, people used to use that. But yeah, coleslaw is really, really good too, especially on a nice summer day. So we, eat cabbage like all the time. I mean, and it doesn't take but 5-10 minutes to cook. I stir
Right, yeah.
fry it up. I
Yeah.
put all kind of stuff in it, and I love it.
Yes, and it's good if you add some carrots in it too. So it's very, very good. And it reminds me of the Jamaicans. They do a lot of cabbage and carrots together when they do their cooking. And now, when you're planting the cabbage, you got to consider the spacing. So you want to do 12 to 24 inches because it does grow very, very wide. So give your cabbage enough room to express itself. And so
And that
our next,
harlequin bug, that
oh
harlequin bug.
yes, 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 yes.
Remember that you don't want to just plant cabbage, in most areas and think you're going to just leave it. You're going to have to cover that cabbage and check it daily for that harlequin bug.
And nothing is more heartbreaking than to have a beautiful head of cabbage and then go out there and see it just full of holes just in a matter of 24 hours, 48 hours. So you're right.
Yes,
Stay on
ma'am.
top of that. So our next cool weather crop is butternut squash. Yum, yum, yum. Sister Melody, take
Yes.
it away.
Okay, so of course you can roast it, stir fry it. You can put it. Oh my goodness, Sister Barbara in Delaware, she makes this awesome, awesome butternut squash soup. I don't. The pies, Brother Bruce in Delaware, he makes the all best butternut squash pies. Me, I also was telling Sister Rashida that what you can do. I just had some a few minutes ago. Just wash the butternut squash and you cut it up, and you can use the skin as well. Cook it, boil it a little bit, and you can eat all of it. You don't have to throw away the skin because the skin has more vitamins in it than the actual inside. But also those seeds there, you can use them and you can roast them, and you can have some sunflower seed, but in the squash seeds. High in fiber, regulates your bowels. High in potassium, helps with blood pressure. High in vitamin A, and just healthy for your immune, good for your immune health as well. I love butternut squash, and it's so easy to grow, sister. I'm telling you, once they start growing, you be like, "Whoa!" I know it's a brother and that we gonna have on one day in Chicago. He's growing a lot of squash, so we look forward.
Yes.
And you know what? The good thing about the squash, sister, if you put it in a cool space, you can have it like all winter. Like put it in a cool spot like potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, it does sit well. And also the beautiful thing about it is it only takes about 110 days for it to actually do from seed to harvest. So not only is it a relatively short period of time, but man, abundance, abundance, abundance. That squash is very good.
And you don't usually have to worry about bugs with the butternut squash.
That's right. That's
I've never
right.
had any problems. The only thing I think sometimes if you water it too much, it could get a mildew around and stop producing. But other than that, I didn't have any problems growing butternut squash.
Yes, ma'am. So our next cool weather crop we are going to enjoy is would be our red potatoes. Red potatoes are delicious. And you can bake them. Of course, you can roast them. You can throw them on the grill. For all of those who like to grill and say, if I don't eat meat, there's nothing to grill. You can grill some vegetables. You can grill some potatoes. You can also make some very good potato soup. And of course, you can boil them and you can mash them for mashed potatoes. Now, some of the health benefits of your potatoes would be they're more antioxidants than have more antioxidants, than white potatoes. And we know the most honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that really you don't even need to eat those white potatoes unless you live in the very, very cold, very frigid zones. Other than that, he does recommend that we eat the red potatoes. It helps fight free radicals. It has lots of vitamin B6, which helps the body metabolize protein. And potato skin is very rich in potassium and magnesium. So, Sister Melody, this is another one where you definitely want to tear into that skin and eat it along with potatoes. I know people are like, oh, I peel the potatoes, but no, the skins, keep those skins on there. Clean
That's
it very
right.
well and keep those skins on there, even if you're mashing it for mashed potatoes, but keep the skins there.
And also, Sister Rashida, when sometime we have a potato and it's sitting in our home, and you see the little things starting to come on at the little eyes, if you will.
Yeah.
Don't take it and feel like, oh, this is rotten, I gotta throw it
Leave.
away. Yeah,
Right.
you could, put it in some soil and there you go. Simple as that.
Yes, ma'am. And speaking of that soil, if you tap into a potato grow, they actually have potato growing bags, and they're kind of
Yeah,
tall, and you can put your potatoes in there on some soil, and as that plant starts to sprout up and you see that plant, you just cover it up and you keep covering it up about 6 to 8 inches down, or about 6 to 8 feet. Yeah. And if you do plant those eyes, make sure you plant the eyes with the eye up. So the
right.
flat part goes on the bottom, but you plant that eye sticking up. And it takes about a good 55 days. If you have the small ones, about 55 days to harvest, but it can take up to 3 to 4 months to actually mature and harvest. But look, some good eating. So go ahead and plant something. Plant
Yes,
something.
yes.
Our next cool weather crop. The health benefits of this is we already covered the health benefits. So let's go ahead to the cool weather crop. The next one is garlic. All right.
Oh, one of my favorites. I'm telling
My
you, sister.
favorite too. I love me some garlic, and you already know what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said: eat as much onions and the garlic as you would like. So,
That's right.
you want to go ahead and talk about this one, Sister Melody?
Yes, ma'am. We can bake garlic, roast it, we can mash it, we can grill it, we can put it in our soups, of course. It's one of the recipes for the ingredients, sorry, for the bean
Mhm.
soup. We can pickle it. And the
Yes.
health benefits is good in vitamin B6, vitamin C, magnesium, helps fight free radicals, anti-inflammatories, can reduce high blood pressure. I usually put it in my water sometime. And high cholesterol, contains
Mhm.
antioxidants, rich in potassium and magnesium. So wanted to give you a little backdrop with one of the we had a privilege of going to the minister's farm, and
Mhm.
they had this garlic that was so juicy, Sister Rashida. And the many of the believers on us have been, growing this garlic. I think I grew it about 4 years now. I can't wait to get some more, but it is a 40-year generation garlic from one of his neighbors. So that's why
Beautiful.
it's so important to share stuff, because garlic, what you do, it takes 9 months to grow, but you take that whole bulb and you separate the cloves and you stick that pointy part up. Take nine
Mhm.
months just like a baby to grow, but it's so easy because it's low maintenance. Anybody could grow garlic.
Sister
Anybody.
Melody,
Yes.
absolutely. It's best to, I mean, it's very good. If you don't want to grow a whole field of garlic, fine. Make sure you get a container, a good sized
Yes.
container. And it's just as simple as you said. Stick it in the ground, I mean, the soil, the pointed side up, and just sit and wait. Just be
That's
patient.
right. Yes, ma'am. So October is the time of the year usually in this zone to grow the garlic, and July is usually when you harvest it.
Harvest
I
it.
always remember that because I always grow my garlic or plant it on the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad birth anniversary,
Mhm.
and then I harvest it on my birthday.
Look, that's a good method, a good way
Yeah,
to
good
remember.
reminder. Yes.
And we've talked about how garlic is a set it and forget it. So you can set it
Yeah,
and check on it again, water it every now and then, but check on it again and it's going to produce for us. It
that's
really
right.
is. Allah
Yes,
is really
ma'am.
amazing.
Yes.
The next cool weather crop we'll talk about will be our onions. Yum, yum, yum. You can roast your onions. You can saute, put them in soups, salad. You can actually have an onion soup. You can use them as soup toppers, salad toppers as well. This right here, you have red onions, but of course, we definitely know there are a variety of onions that are out there. And the health benefit is they're high in vitamin C. It aids in immune health, collagen production, and iron absorption. Good source of prebiotics and fiber. It does help with digestion, and it contains calcium, which aids in bone health. And so, our onions, I love some onions too, Sister Melody. What about you?
Oh goodness, I can eat them raw,
Yes.
so I love them. The animals don't like them, so you usually don't have a problem. Growing onions, and again, we eat them all year round, and they store good. I was just looking at something the other day, sister, where they said if you take a stocking, I guess the old school people,
Oh,
and you put the
yes.
onion, then tie a knot, then put the onion, tie a knot, then put the onion, because you don't want them close together. They'll last longer. And I guess
Right.
that's why people used to hang them like that back in the day. But you can have
Mhm.
them, they said, for months.
Yes, ma'am. And also, the beautiful thing about it too is it only takes about 4 months to harvest. Once you put that little the oh gosh, I can't even think of it. The end piece in the ground. It takes
Yeah.
about 4 months. It's really fast. That's not a long time to have to wait for some onions, and it will produce. And oh yeah, Sister Melody, I was remembering that I told you that we always put onions in our bean soup, navy bean soup. But I
Right.
pretty much used the yellow onions for that. But it wasn't until years later that one of the believers put some diced red onions on top of the bean soup as a topper. And I'm telling you, it was just enough crunch that really, really made a difference, especially with that red onion. Very, very good.
Yeah, they use them garnishes, some people, when they make that soup. And when I went to the minister's house, I was able to get some soup, and I'm telling you, they had the cheese separate, the peppers, and the I think it was cayenne pepper, and you could just do that. So yeah, onions. I'm telling you, and red onions, like you said, I love
Yes,
them in my salad. So I'm
yes.
always eating onions, and again, I eat them raw sometimes.
Yeah, I can't do the yellow onions raw, but I can do the red ones raw for sure. For sure.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Our next cool weather crop that we're going to talk about is celery. So I
Okay.
like some celery. Celery, you can have celery juice, soup, celery soup, vegetable stock. You can make it use celery for vegetable stock, and of course your salads. And I was sharing with Sister Melody when I was growing up before I came into the Nation of Islam. My mother would always have us eat celery as a snack, but she would put peanut butter in the center of it. But now, of course, instead of peanut butter, the healthier alternative, of course, would be the sunflower butter to put
Right.
in there. But it was always, I remember that. That was the way, only way really she got us to eat celery was to put that in there. So, what some of the health benefits of the celery would be it aids in hydration, in the fact that celery is 95% water. It's a great source of antioxidant because it protects the cells, blood vessels and organs from oxidative damage. It actually reduces inflammation, which is so good because so much of the food that's on the market today really increases the inflammation. So this combats that, and it can inhibit bacteria and fungi, the growth of that. So when you plant the celery, you do want to make sure that you plant it about 8 inches apart, and it takes about 4 months to harvest. So that's not bad. So you have a few things that we've talked about today that come to harvest pretty soon or pretty quickly. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. And like Sister Melody always says, you want to pick your niche. You want to pick one or two things that you are excellent at growing, and then share that information with somebody else who has one or two things growing excellently, and let's swap and let's come on and do this thing that the minister asks us to do, which be to grow, which is, excuse me, to grow our own food and do for ourselves. We want to live a
That's
long time, y'all. Long
that's
time.
right. That's right.
Yes, and you like celery also, Sister Melody, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I like it. It's a real fun snack for children. They like to dip it in their little ranch dressing when they get their little buffalo wings and stuff like that. But celery is a good snack, that is healthy and the best to eat it plain, but for us. But
Right.
just to get the children involved and stuff, you can be a little creative with it.
Right. Now,
Yes,
our
ma'am.
last cool weather plant that we're going to talk about today would be arugula. And
Yes,
I did
ma'am.
not know about arugula until about 10 or 12 years ago. And when I tasted it, I instantly fell in love with it. So, Sister Melody, you want to talk about it?
Yes, ma'am. First time I came in contact with it is when we got to get when we went and got told by Will Allen. He grew arugula all year round. I mean, it's easy to grow in the wintertime. It's got that kick to it. They have so many different varieties of arugula. A lot of people now are using arugula and they cutting the baby arugula off, for their salad. It's got this awesome, to me, kick, like, and it could be spicy, for some
Hmm.
people. So we wouldn't want to just have a main. Some people do have arugula salad, but I usually mix it up. So some of the
Right.
health
Me too.
benefits is that it's high in fiber.
Oh, your phone is fading. Your
Got
computer is
good
fading out
bone.
again.
Can
Say
you
that
hear me
again.
now?
Okay, go ahead, Sister Melody.
Okay. Good for bone health and muscle function and nerve function. Good source of potassium. And again, I just love arugula. And this time of the year, again, you could grow arugula all year round. So it likes the winter. It doesn't, mind. But of course, some of the lettuce you don't want to grow when it's 90 degrees outside. But arugula, can take the cool weather. And a lot of, again, it's one of those salads where you don't have to worry about any bugs and stuff coming on it and, messing up your crop.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love it.
And yes, ma'am. I love it too. And you were mentioning that it has like a spice taste. To me, it has a very highly peppery taste. It tastes like a little like pepper was sprinkled on it. So if you do like that peppery taste with a little bit of a bite, arugula is the choice for you. But also arugula grows very, very fast, 40 to 50 days to harvest. So please plant you some arugula and enjoy the arugula. And that is it for today and our cool weather crop. Sister Melody, do you have anything to add on what we've covered today?
Well, I'm just looking forward to, more people at least starting to grow something so we could, help each other and purchase and order from each other. So anybody on the East Coast, let me know, or anybody in the Carolinas is growing, let us know. And we got a hot show coming up next week. And,
Yes.
do we got any questions today?
We don't have any questions today, but I'm so glad you mentioned our show next week. Will feature brother Sean Ali. Cannot wait to talk with him. The brother is really doing it. He's growing. So we're really excited to speak with the brother next week. So please come back. Make sure you join us. I also want to mention, please support this broadcast, Closing the Gap Network broadcast. It's an awesome opportunity for us to get on the broadcast and share. So right at the bottom, you'll see shortly how you can support the broadcast. We'll share that information with you. Also, if you'd like to reach out to Sister Melody and myself, you can do so by emailing us at uh, scienceoffarming19@gmail.com. Scienceoffarming19@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your experiences with gardening. Our goal is to connect each other together and be resources for each other so that we can again do what the ministers say, grow our own food, but also connect and share with each other. We can share seeds. We can share so much information, family. Come on, let's do it. We can free ourselves overnight. We thank you all so much for joining us. Be blessed, be blessed, be blessed. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sis. Okay.